What's up, Magnus?
What's up, man? How are you?
Uh, huh?
How are you, baby?
I know it's a dream out here, man.
I tell you what, the bloody helicopter.
Yeah, dude, that was a once in a lifetime experience, and that was something else. To tell you that.
I've never been in a helicopter, so what's it like?
It was definitely a little scary at first, because it's not normal takeoff, and as soon as as soon as you're lifting up, you're like this, and then he just
And then it just,
shoots off.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's a lot different from a normal takeoff where, you go like that. He's now it's a lot faster, but I mean, it it also depends on the helicopter you're in because that helicopter was nice,
Yeah.
but I mean, I'm glad I went with them instead of some other ones with the doors off. So
It's like there's
I
like
like
to Vietnam or something with a gun out the window, like with the
Yeah, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do that one.
man, I tell you what, I mean, you look so well. Like your face, I don't know, your complexion, you look healthy, man.
I saw the sun I'm getting out here, man.
Yeah. Well, you're always getting sun, aren't you?
Yeah, that's true. I think that's helped a lot.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And I tell you
Yeah,
what,
that.
it's really cool. I was just speaking to Sasha, my friend, and I was just saying, like, James is really living. I see you in the casino. I see you getting a new truck. I see you obviously in Hawaii. I see the business class flight. I'm like, bloody hell, this guy's living. What's going on? How do the
Um,
other half live, man? Tell me.
what was that?
Tell me how the other half live. Like, how does the top 1% live? I need to know.
I don't know. You're up there with me, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're living life. That's for sure. You're living life.
Yeah.
Was I mean, your type of anxiety, was it affecting, your traveling?
Oh, definitely. No, definitely. Because beforehand, it was like I was almost scared to make a decision, and like at some, it was almost getting to the point where I didn't want to even go to work just because of the anxiety I was getting, and like dealing with intrusive thoughts. It was just so new to me, and I was just like, well, what if I just stay home and then I'll be fine? But reality is I couldn't do that, just because I just, I don't know, it's just something, I had to figure this out because
Yeah,
it's like, it's not something I wanted to live inside my house all the time. And like, dealing with anxiety for what, good 4 or 5 years. And then like the last year really just hit me like a brick wall. I remember, leaving work one day and like I just was crying and I had no idea why, and it's new to me. I don't really show emotion. I don't really
yeah,
deal with that, just because of the environment I grew up and whatnot. And then one day, I just like, I don't know what it was, and I just started crying and driving my way home, and then I called that was a crisis line
yeah, yeah,
because I was scared, man. Like I was like, yo, this is not me. This is like, I don't recognize this person. And I talked to him, and then, I kind of calmed down, and then realized it was anxiety really. And, just, you know, I never having to deal with that level of anxiety was, you know, uh very like moving.
yeah,
And like for me, it was just like I know, like, hey, this isn't something you can get rid of overnight. Like you need to go, look for help.
yeah,
And that's I went to a therapist, and it was okay, but it wasn't getting to where I needed it to be for me. And like, I mean, the therapist was nice. She's a cool lady. I still talk to her here and there, but you know, life is good now, right?
yeah,
But, yeah, it was just learning, especially when I came to you and like yeah, I did have my doubts because you come across your videos on TikToks and stuff and you're just like, I don't know. And then, but I mean it turned out fucking fantastic for me.
Yeah, yeah, it did. I mean, look at you. Look at you. What, so for you, what were you struggling with specifically? You talked about crying on the way home from work. What were the thoughts? And for you, it was just intrusive thoughts that was your biggest struggle, wasn't it? It was OCD, intrusive thoughts that was creating most of the anxiety for you.
Yeah, it was mostly the intrusive thoughts and like uh a little bit of DPDR and but it was mainly, my intrusive thoughts of like hurting someone or hurting myself and like yeah, sure we get intrusive thoughts from time to time or like whatever, but it was just like relentless and it was just like, it was getting worse and worse and I was tr having trouble sleeping like it got bad and it's just, it scared the hell out of me and it's like what do I do? And it's just there isn't, you know, especially with all the stress too that I was dealing with, it was just everything was stacking and it finally I hit that wall and it was just like I couldn't get over it by myself.
Yeah, yeah. So you had a combination of stress, and that caused by work, or was it just what was causing the stress?
Um yeah, it was from work and then just dealing with personal things and like, you know, just I feel like I had set goals for myself and I wasn't really hitting them and so it was kind of pushing me even more. So it was kind of like, damn, what's going on, you know?
Yeah, I know that's, we don't talk about that enough. When you have big goals, you have
Mhm.
great potential, and then you're not reaching it, and you're very aware of that, and time's going on, you think that creates so much stress. I don't think there's not much that's more stressful than knowing your potential and not fulfilling it. That's a stressful thing, right?
Yeah, and it's like no one sees it, but I see it and like I feel it and it's just like, stacking on top of everything else and it's just like, well, fuck, what do I do? And
Mhm.
then, you're trying to get that goal accomplished, but these certain goals is just you can't, it takes time to accomplish and I just I had set those goals early on and I was like, oh, by this time, by this age, I'm gonna be married, I'm gonna have a big house, stuff like that. And it's just like, you know what? Life just didn't go that way, and that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's awesome, man. So you were struggling with obviously fear of harming yourself, fear of harming other people because you were getting these crazy thoughts and you didn't know what the hell they were and you didn't know how to deal
Hmm.
with them. So what did we do together? Like, what was the work we did together? What did you implement in your own life so that these thoughts lost their power?
So what helped me a lot was I know it was simple, but just telling me to accept my thoughts, and I was just like, what? Why? Why would I accept these horrible thoughts? But that was literally like the aha moment. And like once I started doing that and just like you told me to laugh at them, which I thought was silly at the time. And then like now I do, I just laugh at them like, haha, okay, yeah, you're stupid. And then it's just, you know, it was funny and like it was, just accepting the thoughts, a lot of work on my nervous system too and I still do that daily. And I get whenever I get a chance, I do meditate, and I probably meditate. I want to say every day, if not every other day. It's just with school picking back up, it's hard, but I make time still.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what's changed? I mean, it's been probably 4 months, 5 months since you joined the program. What's changed in your life?
Shit. Uh, there's a whole lot changed. I've got my license to do electrical work, which was another stressor that was adding on top of everything. And I got my license now to do electrical work in, the States. Um, I've obviously got a big brand new truck and everything's just like I feel a lot lighter, like physically or not physically, mentally, I guess you could say, spiritually.
Mm.
And
Well, what's
yeah.
changed? What's changed? Obviously, there's a lot's changed externally, but that's
Mm.
also a reflection of all the work you've done internally. You wouldn't be
Oh,
able
okay.
to be living this life externally if you
Yeah.
didn't have those internal things, those having those intrusive thoughts about harming yourself, harming others. What what's your internal experience like compared to before the program? Like, how has it shifted? How has it changed?
So now it's shifted in where, like, if I get intrusive thoughts or anything like that, I just take, like, kind of basically stop what I'm doing and I take a moment and I just breathe, right? Take deep breaths, inhale, exhale a few times, and then, I talk to myself much kinder and,
Mm.
like as if you would a friend, right? And so, not baby talk, but hey man, you've you've done a lot, you've gone through a lot, you should be proud of yourself. And like just a lot of breath work, just a lot of inner focus and doing things that help me internally, like like I said, kind words, taking deep breaths, and then, some of your schoolwork has also helped a lot with getting me to
Well,
this point.
yeah, where would you say your anxiety levels were before the program, and where would you say they are now? Let's say 10 being really high, anxiety is really high, one being really low.
All right. So before the program, my anxiety was probably like at a 9. Like it was getting really bad. And, like I said, to the point where I was like starting to have trouble go to work, right? And like going out or anything. And now my anxiety is probably like a 1, 2.
Mm.
It's, anxiety's there, but like it doesn't bother me no more. And it's just like, that's why I'm out here in Hawaii and going out and traveling now and hanging out with family and friends.
That's epic. That's
Yeah.
that's really epic. Yeah, man. I mean, did you like the program? Did you think it was a good experience? Did you enjoy it? And do you think other people who are on the fence, do you think they'd benefit from doing it?
No, I definitely enjoyed the program and like I still enjoy the chats, the inner circle chat, and just seeing how everyone else has blossomed in there, and it's just, it's the groundwork has been proven, it'll change you if you're willing to change yourself. No one's gonna do it for you. You have to be willing to do the work. And that's it the vol it speaks for itself, right? And so I definitely would recommend to anyone who's on the fence like I was, right? You see this video across TikTok and you had those thoughts, right? Like, I don't think it'll work. But no, I took the chance and I'm glad I did. And it was, honestly the best thing that could have happened for me.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. I'm super grateful for that, man. Well, what would you say you're most proud of yourself in this whole journey that we've been on together? What would you say, something you look back at and go, you know what, I'm proud that I took that step, or I'm proud that I made that shift?
Um, I think the proudest moment for me was, once I got on here and it was just finally, uh, bringing, I guess, it was, just standing up for myself basically and not letting, not being a people pleaser, right? And so it was voicing my own opinion at the cost of others, I guess. And, it was putting my happiness before them now. And it's just like I got tired of, just being like pushed over and it was just like, all right, that's it, no more. And so it kind of gave me my voice back and I was, I speak for myself now, basically.
Do you feel like you've become more of a man?
I feel like I have because, dealing with these emotions and stuff and like beforehand I just shove them down as much as I could and then, obviously that that didn't work and it kind of exploded and now I know how to deal with my emotions much better and deal with stress much better. And so now it doesn't affect me as much. And like, if I'm dealing with the stressful day or whatever it is, I have the tools to just, hey, take a moment, go breathe, go get some fresh air, ground myself, right? And so like before, I never really looked into it. I never was, I don't know, I guess, I kind of made fun of like anxiety, right? And I was like, oh, that's so stupid. And then I got it. And then it was just like, oh, it ain't so stupid after all. And it's just like, there, anxiety's telling you you have some inner work to do.
Wow, that's powerful. That's really
Mhm.
powerful.